Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Things are a little janky this morning. It's the Capricorn new moon, and I would imagine you have all sorts of feelings going on. So, as we begin, I want to say something really clearly. In the last 4 or 5 days, it has felt louder and heavier and more agitating than usual, right? Especially in your body, especially in your nervous system. And you're not alone and you're not imagining it. Let's be really clear. I've been getting calls and messages all week from people asking, God, what is going on? And what's important is to understand right now that much of what we're feeling has arrived before it showed up in the charts, whether we feel it and it's intense, and then the next day there's something in the Schumann or through Pam Youngins or through Stephen Burns. The idea is that all that matters is that we felt it before it showed up in the charts because it tells us something fundamental about this moment. Sensitive, embodied systems feel structural change before it becomes measurable. That's you. That's me. That's all of us over here. We feel change before it becomes measurable. Wow. So why it feels loud right now before it's visible is that people are reporting things that we're anticipating or not anticipating, that's not the word, that we are connecting to, some of these symptoms we're feeling, which would be waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning and being awake for an hour or 2 or for the rest of the morning. I've noticed that I wake up before the 5 o'clock um, train whistle comes through town, and then I'm just sort of waiting, biding my time until it's time to get up. I don't get up that early. I tried really hard to go back to sleep. It doesn't work. But it's just like every morning in the last 5 days. There's nervous system agitation, there's internal pressure, there's emotional volatility. Yeah. And there's difficulty settling into your body. So for several of these days, it wasn't reflected in traditional measurements. It wasn't showing up in solar. It barely showed up in Pam Youngin's K4 to K5 geomagnetic storms, and it just started showing up through Mr. MBB33 and Stephen Burns and Consciously Aaron, um, just in the last day or so. So today we begin to see confirmation. This teaches us something that's essential, right? That our body and our field isn't late or early. We're not malfunctioning. We're responding to a system wide shift that is still organizing itself around visibility. So let's add something interesting. Is that this woke me up in the middle of the night last night, and I added this to the script this morning. That Saturn and Neptune are rebuilding a human skill set. There's a deep layer underneath the things that we're feeling right now that are connected to Saturn and Neptune because they're completing a long apprenticeship together inside our human system. Saturn's been training us in structure, in boundaries, in embodiment, in self direction. Makes sense, right? And I thought about this, and it's almost like, Saturn is that physical embodiment. Like, this is who we are. This is what we're going to be. This is how we walk on the earth. It's giving us a structure, boundaries, embodiment, self direction, right? And Neptune has been training our sensitivity, our intuition, our nervous system awareness, our ability to feel information rather than explain it. These two are not in conflict, they're actually working as a team. Saturn is doing the structure without rigidity and sensitivity without overwhelm. Sensitivity picking up on information. Like, this is emerging within us, the Queen of Cups. This is coming out due to Neptune. So what's happening isn't confusion. It's a rebuilt human skill set being tested in real time. You're being tested in real time. So we have this Capricorn new moon, and I've read several astrologers, and it's either at 28 or 29 degrees, which means that it's either in the anaretic stage or it's coming into it. And if you followed me, you know that I spent a lot of time talking about those 29 degrees, right? So since it's in the final degrees of Capricorn, this is not a fresh start new moon. Not even close. It's like, no, this is not us going, wow, I wonder what the brand new January full moon or new moon is going to bring our way. The way we talk about them and the way we viewed new moons before. This is a completion point. It is a marker in Capricorn in that cardinal leadership in physical form. Capricorn in the final degree is where the full weight of structure has run its course. So, whether it's hierarchies, whether it's definitions of success, whether it's endurance of identity, or the endurance that we present as our identity is probably a better way to say it. Our legitimacy purchased through exhaustion, through work, through climbing the ladder, putting in our time, right? Many people are feeling this like bottleneck, right? The sense of that ladder, that summit that got narrower and narrower. And Ames Stoic talks about this in his astrology as we've been like trying so desperately to keep climbing. And now it's kind of like, what am I doing this for and why? So the motivation has become constricted. The motivation has become less desirable. So if success has begun to feel like suffocation rather than fulfillment, this isn't personal failure either. It's structural completion. It's Capricorn in completion, holding the door open for Saturn and Neptune to walk through into Aries. We'll talk about this more. Reclaiming Capricorn as sacred earth wisdom. I watched Madrona's Pulse. I love her, Iris J. She really brought in that sort of witchy, fun earth energy, which was why I picked her as well, she's down on the ground. The Queen of Pentacles as that sort of powerful, embodied, mystical, magical, feminine energy, right? And remember that Saturn rules Capricorn. So these two are so intertwined. It's lovely. Capricorn's been misrepresented in modern culture as power and status and control. But archetypically, Capricorn is earth wisdom. It's sacred timing. It's embodiment. It's stewardship. Iris J calls it the crone, the wisdom keeper who knows winter and cycles and thresholds. Much of what is dismantling now is not Capricorn itself, but the distortion placed on it. Patriarchy replaced stewardship. Extraction replaced reverence. Achievement replaced meaning. This new moon is a reclamation. Not what am I building? What do I want to do in 2026? But what kind of life can my body actually sustain moving forward? So with Mars and Mercury in late Capricorn squaring Chiron and Eris. Now, those are just going to be words to you, but if you followed me, you know that Chiron is where our deepest triggered wound shows up, right? And we've got Mars and Mercury. Everybody's sort of pushing or squaring at this point. And if you looked at the chart, it's like there's nothing going on in the rest of the chart, just these things, just all this congestion is probably the best way to put it. What means that we're going to be experiencing some irritability, some suppressed anger, some emotional exhaustion. And that conflict turns sideways at peers rather than at systems. It's almost like, I don't want to deal with the system that's falling apart, but I want to definitely come after you because you're just in front of me right now. Have you noticed that happening? Whether it's at the store, whether it's on the driving, whether it's on Zoom calls or whatever, you're just like, whoa, what's going on? So this anger isn't a tantrum. It's just information. It's just a way to gather like, oh, there's something else going on here, right? And it asks, what have you tolerated way too long? Where did you play by the rules and receive erasure rather than reward? I know that one. It's like I play by the rules, I overperform, and I'm slowly phased out. I'm like, what's going on? But this energy requires restraint. Unconscious reaction amplifies chaos. So we want to be conscious. We want conscious awareness turns anger into a compass. So we don't want to be wild about this. What we want to do is we want to use restraint and we want to use consciousness as we are noticing all of these things. Because our nervous system's in the front line right now. Many of us are experiencing what I would call integration fatigue. It's like, how much more do you think I can integrate? And it's like, we haven't even started. Because for months, our nervous system's been buffering things like solar input, planetary alignments, collective instability, political disarray. I mean, you name it, right? And when buffering becomes chronic, the body stays in that sympathetic mode, which is fight, flight, or vigilance. And we know vigilance, we know survival mode, right? That restlessness where food sensitivities come up, and there's vivid dreams, and there's intrusive thoughts, and there's emotional swings. These are not signs of regression. This is not signs of failure. This is the nervous system that isn't breaking. It's learning how to stop bracing or staying in survival mode, and it's learning how to thrive. It's learning how to expand into itself, right? Now, I want to bring up something that is really, this was another part that sort of tap, tap, tap in the middle of the night last night. Said, I want you to put this in and talk about it, which is mimicry and mirroring. And this is where our discernment is really is coming through the body. So these intrinsic skills of ours, as they're coming back online, as we are becoming much more sensitive, much more aware, all of our clairs are supporting us and working with our nervous system, and we're exhausted and we're triggered, and it's really hard to integrate, right? Something else is becoming really clear. We are beginning to feel the difference between mimicry and mirroring. Mimicry is copying what we see for safety. Like, oh, if I buy a house, if I do this, if I do that, then I belong, I survive, I am rewarded. Yet mirroring can be, it's resonance and it's dissonance. It's almost as if our body is showing us that something that feels true will align, and something that doesn't feel true will be very dissonant, and it will be very confusing for us, right? So much of our world is built on mimicry, not because it's true, but because it's been reinforced. As we know, we've talked a lot about conditioning, about programming, about our education system, and what mimicry really does to us, right? And when our nervous system becomes coherent, right? Mimicry feels wrong in the body. And when our mirroring starts to show up in an authenticity, it feels calm and grounded and clean. This is why many people are no longer willing to be misled or patronized or silenced or diminished. Why we are stepping away from family and friends, or feeling ghosted by someone we've known for years. Not because they're angry or there's something wrong. It's because their system can no longer pretend. Our system can no longer pretend. And it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. When clarity returns to the body, illusion becomes exhausting. It's exhausting to hold up the pretenses. Truth doesn't need that level of exhaustion. We know this, right? So there's this cosmic context that's also going on. And we have to keep naming these things, because unless you're studying them, unless you're gathering them, they can become very overwhelming to the body. And my job is just simply to say there's a lot going on. There's multiple influences converging on us right now, whether it is planetary alignments, and we've named the planets, and the new moon, and Saturn and Pisces, and the squares to that, and the interferences, right? There's the coronal hole with solar winds that have been affecting us. There's these Schumann resonance fluctuations. And if you looked at Stephen Burns, there's this galactic radioactivity, and I forgot to write down the name of this planetary system that was creating this radioactivity. But go check out Stephen Burns in the last 2 days. The message is simple. When many symptoms recalibrate, at once the body feels it first. You feel it first. No fear is required. No orientation. You just felt it first. Bravo. Look at how you are growing, how your Neptune and Saturn are starting to show you how strong and powerful you are. So I have 6 permissions for you, and the permissions are working really well. So I'm going to stick with that. But before I do that, I want to invite you to Patreon. We have it's basically a place where we collect all the social media posts and put our own reflections in there. That's available for free. If you want $11 membership, you can join our Wednesday. Where did that come from? Tuesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time discussion group for 75 minutes. And there's been this lovely collaboration of souls talking and sharing what's going on. So we would love to have you there if that resonates for you. So think about that. Okay, let's go to 6 permissions, right? So permission number 1. You're allowed to feel all of this before you understand it. Just give yourself, I'm feeling something. I don't understand what it is. Give your body permission because it reads the field faster than your mind can translate it. This is sensation data. So data is being sent to you through your body. Give yourself permission like, oh, I'm feeling something. That's all you have to say. I have no idea what it is yet, but I can tell you, I can feel it. Just validate it. Give yourself permission. I absolutely feel this. Permission number 2, you don't need to decide anything yet at all because this is a closing phase, not an initiating one. Where clarity comes after we integrate. It's almost like we have to bring it in, say, I noticed that, let it settle in, let it integrate and go, wow, I've had to do that 4 or 5 times this week. It seems like it's related to this. That's how we begin to decide. We don't have to decide right away. We can't. There's too much information coming in, right? Permission number 3, rest is not avoidance. It's participation. So, man, we have to know this. We are stabilizing ourselves, and it's an active contribution to coherence. When we stabilize, we are more open. We are more open to receive. And then we are in our mastery. Permission number 4, anger can be observed without being acted out. Let it inform you, not define you. It's okay. I love these little times where I just kind of go, the anger comes up and it comes out. And I'm like, feels so much better after I let that out. And it doesn't have to be acted out on another person. It just has to be recognized that there's anger there. It's all right. Observe it. Notice it. Let it happen. Keep yourself safe. Try not to throw it on another person, right? And then number 5, simplify your environment. We talk about this a lot. Fewer inputs, fewer demands. Let your nervous system feel safe enough to recalibrate. And I'm noticing that a lot right now with, especially in family systems where both parents are working, the kids are, taxed out. Parents are taxed out during the day, or if we're still trying to address the employment shortages and we keep being asked to work more and more and more because there's less and less people actually performing. Just recognize that you need personally fewer inputs, fewer demands so that you can recalibrate. And number 6, always, is compassion because it's not optional. It's stabilizing for your body, for your pace, for your fatigue, for people around you who are also carrying more than they know how to name. We don't know what's going on with them. We don't know what's going on with ourselves half the time. Compassion restores dignity into this process. So if things are feeling intense right now, this doesn't mean that something's wrong. It means that something is old. Something is finishing and your system knows it. You don't need to rush the next step. You only need to stay present enough to feel the ground as it settles around you and you're embodied. So thank you for being here and for listening to your own system with courage and care. Next week, I want to talk a little bit more about mimicking and mirroring. And we are at the day before Saturn and Neptune shift into Aries. And I love this visual, which is like I've got all my stuff together, I've got my shit together, and now I'm ready to go forward. We have exciting things ahead of us. So here's a journal prompt for you. Where's my body asking to lead right now? And what changes when I stop explaining and start listening? So as you write this down or you ponder it, notice what your body responds to before your mind explains it. Let your body guide you through this process and enjoy it. Have fun. I will see you next Sunday or Tuesday on Patreon. Take care. Bye bye.